alongside Chiney Ogwumike, Kendrick Perkins, Brian Windhorst, we are getting you ready for the showdown between the Bucks and the Celtics. Yes, we know the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics both will not be at full strength in this one. I'm not sure if this is some checkers or chess going on by opponents that seem to be on a collision course to meet in the playoffs. We hope it's in the conference finals. But do you think that the Bucks have the best chance of any team of knocking off the Celtics to represent the East, Brian?
In the East, I do, because I think they have the nice mix of experience and then firepower. Because if you're going to beat the Celtics, you got to be able to score. I know they've got one of the best defenses in the league, but when they get going from three-point range, they are very hard to tangle with. Mm-hmm. When Khris Middleton is healthy, when Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo are working well together, the Bucks have that. And when they play their best defensively, which we've seen it on and off over the last 2 months, they can do some damage too.
Well, let's hit the edit button for a minute. Let's punch the edit button, because it should be which team will be the biggest threat to the Denver Nuggets for us winning a title. Not the Celtics. The Denver Nuggets are the defending champs, right? And when I think about the Nuggets and I look at, we already know what Murray and Jokic is going to do in the two-man game, the tandem between Gordon and Jokic, how they, do offensively. But it's Michael Porter Jr. 20 points per game his last 5 games, and he has been on a high streak. So when I think about the Nuggets, yeah, we could talk about the depth, the lack of depth that they don't have on the bench, but the growth of Michael Porter Jr., the trust that I'm watching out of Michael Malone right now, they actually are the team, should be the front runner to win the championship. So
taking that edit into consideration, do you think that it's going to be the Celtics and the Denver Nuggets? Is there anyone who's standing in the Celtics' way in the East?
No one.
All right.
And I love the Knicks. They're just not healthy.
Look, I'm going to add another edit. I think the biggest threat to the Boston Celtics are the Boston Celtics themselves. I mean, on paper and also what we've seen.
There's nothing to fear but fear itself.
Fear itself. I mean, this is like we're waiting for them to take the next step with their confidence. Perk, you talk a lot about signature wins. Like, we're looking for these moments. We're looking for Jason Tatum, who talked to you, Malika Andrews, about wanting to be that best player in the NBA. It's on them at this point, because if you look at what they've done, the body of work, they will have home court advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs. They're 31-3 at home. Their starters give you the most points in basketball, 93 points per game among starters. That's solid. And then also, when you compare them to the Nuggets, I currently think that the Nuggets are still the favorite until the Celtics prove it. But if you look at the Nuggets, there's an argument that the Celtics have improved in a way that maybe the Nuggets haven't, meaning they brought in Kristaps Porzingis, who has helped, and Drew Holiday. So I'm looking at the Spider-Man. I always bring this up. That Spider-Man meme, the Celtics are looking at themselves and trying to prove that they are the real. Oh, yeah, maybe that is.
But here's the question, right? Let's say those two teams do meet in the NBA Finals. Can Kristaps
Porzingis, I got you.
Got it.
Hold tight, hold up throughout the longevity of the postseason? We haven't seen that.
And I would say
we're talking about the NBA Finals, a guy who has an injury history, an injury past. So, what are we talking about?
The failures of the Celtics over the last 2 years in the finals to the Warriors and last year in the conference finals to the Heat were supposed to be covered up by the acquisition of Porzingis. That is the reason they went out and got him, and they need him to be healthy to make that happen.
And the role that Kristaps Porzingis has with the Celtics, this is the most advantageous, meaning he's not called to be the unicorn, the guy. He's called to really stretch the floor. That responsibility will go to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and company. So it's not all on him. They can withstand a couple up and down nights.
You got to be called to be something if you're going against Jokic.
Well, he's also statistically been the most efficient this season, been the most efficient post-up player in the last 10 years. Kristaps Porzingis has been. So he's shown that range as well.
NBA,